guys, I wanted to hop on really quickly and just talk a little bit about a product that I get questions on quite often, especially in terms of application, and that is the cream blushes. You've heard me talk about the cream blushes before. They're one of my favorite products ever. I love them because they're really fast and easy to apply. And if you are someone who has really dry skin, I always suggest the cream blush because sometimes a powder blush can kind of settle into your skin and make it a little bit more dry looking versus the cream blush really gives you kind of a dewy glow to your cheeks and your face without being like obnoxiously glowy, if that makes any sense at all. The cream blushes are also really good if you have mature skin. A lot of times powder blush can kind of settle into those fine lines and wrinkles and accentuate them, which we don't want. So a cream blush will not do that. It won't settle into those lines. It will just sit really nicely on your skin and kind of help hide those wrinkles and problem areas that you want to keep covered up a little bit. So I like the cream blush for a lot of reasons. We have three colors, if you can see these. So we have caramel, and this is umber, and this is hibiscus. I honestly really love all three colors. For a long time, I was only using the caramel and hibiscus. The umber honestly scared me a little bit, and I didn't think it was a good color for me until I heard our chief makeup artist and creative designer. She said that the umber is actually a really good shade if you have fair skin and blonde hair. And I was like, okay, if she's suggesting this, I'm gonna give it a go and I'm gonna try it. And it has turned into one of my favorite colors as well. So I equally love all three colors of the cream blush. I tend to wear the caramel color as more of an everyday shade. I probably reach for caramel 5 to 6 days out of the week. If I'm wearing makeup every day, I'll typically wear the caramel. And then hibiscus is a really pretty pink color, and I tend to wear it more in the spring and summer months just because I like a little bit more pink during those months. And then the umber color, like I said, I haven't had it too long, but I'm probably going to be wearing this more in the fall and winter months, and less so in the summer months. But just my personal preference. I think all three shades work great year round, so that's just my 2 cents. The caramel shade is also really good. A lot of people like to use it as more of a contour shade. So use the caramel color kind of right underneath your cheekbones like this to kind of help accentuate those cheekbones. And then use either a powder blush or one of the other cream blushes just on the apples of your cheek to help give a little bit of color. A lot of people use the caramel blush that way as well. So there's lots of options. But I wanted to hop on and show you, I get questions a lot. Since cream blush is not a very common product, I wanted to show you how you can quickly apply it really easily. And I am going to use one of these. I'm going to use the umber shade since it's got a little bit more color. That way you can hopefully see it a little bit easier. There's multiple ways you can apply this. I'm going to show you how I apply it, that I find it to be the easiest. So another thing, these literally last forever. They're really pigmented and you don't need a lot with each use. A little goes a long way. So these cream blushes seriously last forever. I have had the hibiscus and caramel shades since probably last summer, and I've barely made a dent in either one, and I use the caramel shade like crazy. It's the one I use most often, but I've barely made a dent in either one of these, and I bought them last summer, so they last forever. So anyway, all I do is I just get it up out of the tube just a little bit, And I take my finger, I typically use my middle finger. You can also use your ring finger. That's probably the more technically makeup appropriate finger to use, but I'm not technically a makeup expert, so I just do what works best for me. But I use my middle finger and I just dab it onto the product just a little bit, just to pick up a little bit of color. And then I'm just gonna tap it directly onto my cheekbone. So I just smile to kind of get the apples of my cheeks out a little bit and just dab it on like so. You can kind of work it up a little bit if you want. And then I take my ring finger and really try to kind of smooth it in a little bit. I will say what I have found with all of the colors of the cream blush is when you first put it on, it's going to look like maybe you put too much on, but that's okay, don't panic. I have found that if I just let it set for a minute and kind of use my other fingers to help dab it in a little bit and let it set for a minute, that color will kind of diminish and pull back a little bit. So if you feel like you put it on and you feel like you put too much on, don't panic. Just use your other fingers and kind of dab it in a little bit and then let it set for a minute. Just stop touching your face and let it kind of set, let it kind of soak into your skin a little bit. And you can already see it's starting to kind of work its way into my skin. I've got some weird light over here so you can't see this side as much, but just let it set for a minute and it will kind of soak in and settle onto your skin. And a lot of times that extra color that you think you're putting on is actually just like your skin kind of flaring up a little bit from applying the pressure of putting it on. So it's not even actually the blush that's giving you that extra color, it's just your skin gets a little bit more flushed when you're applying makeup. So if you feel like you got too much on, just stop touching your face for a second, let it set for a minute, use your other fingers to just kind of dab it in and work it in a little bit, and then take another look after another minute or so. And sometimes I even find that actually I didn't apply enough and I have to put more on. So just kind of work with it. You'll figure out a system. Another thing that some people like to do is take it and actually put some on the back of your hand and then either dab your finger in that and apply it, or they'll use a blush makeup brush and dab it onto there and then tap it into your cheeks. All of these ways work fine. I will say again, they're pretty pigmented, so go easy on it until you kind of figure out the color and you know, how it's going to work against your skin. So that's it. It's super fast. I literally apply my blush in like 2 seconds because it's so easy to apply. And I'm going to swatch the rest of these colors on my hand as well, so you can kind of see the colors better on my hand. Now keep in mind, I'm applying this pretty thick just so you can get the colors, but it's not necessarily, it's gonna look brighter on my skin just because I'm trying to apply it kind of thick so you can see the colors. Okay, so here are the colors on my hand. So this top color here is the umber, and here's caramel, and then here is hibiscus, which again, super pretty pink color. I honestly think that all of these colors work great on every skin tone. We at Beautycounter, we actually batch color test all of our cosmetics. And what that means is we test them on multiple skin tones, skin types, and we make sure that it works for everyone. So when you're looking at blushes and eyeshadows and all of that stuff, we're actually testing it on multiple skin tones and skin colors so that we make sure it works for everyone. So if you like one of these colors, or if you like all 3 of them, I say go for it. Just try it and see how it works on your skin. So I think that's all I had. I just wanted to show you how the cream blush works and how to apply it. So if you guys have any questions at all, or if you're still not sure how to apply it, or maybe you're not sure about the colors or what might work with you, just leave a comment below this video or reach out to me directly and I can help you out. So there you go. There's cream blush. Hope you guys have fun playing with it, and I highly suggest you try one of the cream blushes. It's one of my favorite makeup products. A lot of times if I'm not wearing much other makeup, like today for example, all I have is a little bit of concealer under my eyes, brow pencil, mascara, and then I did the caramel cream blush before I hopped on this video, but that's all I'm wearing. So that's another thing I like about the cream blush is it looks great on both bare skin and on top of foundation. So it doesn't matter if you have on other makeup or not. Sometimes I find that with powder blush, it really only works if you have foundation on first and then the powder blush. I don't always, at least for me personally, I don't find that powder blush really works that well on my bare skin. So that's why I like the cream blush, because I can wear it, again, on bare skin if I don't have on any foundation, but I just want to add a little bit of color to my face. Or it also works if I have on foundation too. So there you have it, cream blush. So again, if you guys have questions, just let me know, and be sure to check out the cream blush for yourself. Thanks.